Think that's good haymaking water? I mean, it's drier than it has been. I can make hay in that. Actually, this is the ditch along the road. Yeah, so Timothy's here. He's working. Now I'm out in the field, and I'm going to get wet feet. Oh, that's 7-minute, or bitchweed is what they call that stuff. We have gotten some really nasty ass clay soil here. And it hasn't rained for 4 or 5 days now. 3 days. 3 days. And we only had 2/10 of an inch the last time it rained, so it shouldn't be that bad, but it is. Anyway, Timothy did the 40-acre field behind that, and now he's starting to work on this piece here. This is 9 acres. At least it used to be 9. It's about 8 acres, 9 acres. It is 8 or 9 acres. There's a really wet spot right up in there, and we'll see if he gets stuck in it. Because if you're going to get stuck with that machine, it's going to be on the outside round. But he's moving right along, so I don't think we're going to have a problem with that. And yeah, so he's been doing his thing, and I've been doing my thing. The boys have been doing their thing, and we're just going to get this thing done. So now it doesn't look too god-awful bad. If he goes into that, he's done. Oh, no. Okay, good. Just follow the way it went. See, there's a low spot there, and the water comes out of that woods, and it comes down in here, and it looks about like this. Now, even though there's water laying there, the slime, there's a car coming, the slime that is algae is what's sealing off the soil and not allowing it to percolate down. So the ground is actually firm underneath there. So yeah, here he hits the water. Ready? Hit that water. So now what I was just walking in is now gone. This looks interesting. So you see, this is nice. I threw some antifreeze in there. I'll just clean up that garbage. This is one thing I hate the most, is garbage people throw there. So you can see it looked worse than what it is. It is clay. There's no sand in this soil. There's a mouse. And this is mulch hay for the mushroom barns, the mulch industry, mushroom industry. And it is really not bad. It's just old. Got all kinds of, look at the wildlife in here. It's just old. I'm using fescue. This is the granddaddy of all fescues, K31, Kentucky 31. And when I put the fertilizer on here, we had a gully washer of a storm come through, and it washed the nitrogen pretty well off. So I lost. I didn't lose it all, but I lost enough that you can see that it's not very thick in here. And of course, it is not very thick, and it should be like 10 times thicker than what it is, but it is what it is, as they say. So he'll knock this thing down, and tomorrow, the next day, 2 days from now, let's say Monday, I'll probably have this all baled by Monday. We will come back in with fertilizer, a blend of nitrogen, potash, and sulfur. No phosphates. We don't need phosphates. We just need potash and sulfur. So we'll come in with that blend, put it in there at the 175-pound rate, which will give me 40 units of nitrogen, and that will get most people don't put 40 units of nitrogen on for the first cutting, let alone the second cut. And but I do. I put 40 units of nitrogen on. That'll give me about 22 units of potash, and let's see, what the hell's the other blend? The other number 6, 8, 10. So about, I don't know, 18 pounds of sulfur. I need sulfur. This ground is sulfur deficient. Sulfur really, it can bind nitrogen, but it also forces the plant, or not forces the plant, allows the plant to take up other nutrients. And the reason we need sulfur now versus before is because, I don't know who that is, but they just came down. The reason we need sulfur now that we didn't before is because they took the sulfur out of diesel fuel. Okay, so as you have those low ppms diesel fuels, like, I forget what the part per million is. It's like 5 parts per million now, 7 parts per million sulfur. Well, sulfur used to go up into the air. We used to burn a lot of coal for energy, and coal is full of sulfur. Sulfur isn't going to kill you. You need sulfur in your diet as well as in your soils to allow your grasses and corn and soybeans to grow. And yeah, so we'll just watch him roll for a while. He could go a lot faster if he wanted to. He's doing a good job though, which is really good because he needs to do a good job. It's just the way it needs to be. I don't know what that car is up to, but kind of weird. Anyway, so now you don't really want to cut this too low to the ground, because if you cut it too low to the ground, it won't come back fast enough. And I've instructed Timothy and anybody else that is cutting for me to actually cut it at about 4 inches of height. If you cut it at 3 inches of height, it will take longer for it to come back. And with the fertilizer that we're going to be putting on there, it will come back pretty quickly. So there you go. So you got your education on sulfur and other things today. Thanks for okay, good morning. All right, so here's the deal. I'm just going to talk about what's going on here. And I don't want to hear crap about the milkweed. Because this farm is loaded with milkweed, which, you know, to some organic butterfly loving people, that's great. But for me, it wasn't so great. But it's not the worst thing in the world. There was a very small percentage of milkweed, and there was some other nettles and stuff that's in here. If you don't know, if you're new to the channel, this is a mulch hay production. This hay will go for mushroom production, which they're not really. They don't want weeds, but there is a percentage of weeds that they will allow, and I am well within the threshold of weeds that are allowed to be in there, milkweed being one of them. Nettles is another they don't really care too much about, but nettles actually have a good nutritional value to it, and it actually builds structure within the soil. And wow, look at the bugs. But anyway, the struggles that we're having here, if you look to the right of the screen, you will notice the field that I mowed on the right hand side. Look at that bug, a crazy thing. It is very steep here, and all the water will run to the bottom of the field. Now, that's kind of normal for this stuff, and yeah, it will run to the bottom of the field, making the bottom of the field quite wet. And as you could see, maybe you didn't see, but I have a lot of footage of this. There's probably about 50 minutes of footage or an hour of footage on this thing. And boy, Grassam Hopper. This is where the pile of hay was last year, so it's going to be shorter. And there's Teresa's car. So anyway, they're very steep fields. The water will run off, and it will take your fertilizer away as well. And unfortunately, that's what happened here. I put a 2,4-D and liquid nitrogen regiment to this field or this farm, and immediately thereafter, gosh, this bug is really close up in the counters, man. You can see his nuts there. These nuts. It's just the water came. We had rain, gully washers of like 3 inches that day. I remember it quite well. I said to my father, I said, well, I bet that stuff washed off. And sure enough, the 2,4-D didn't even have a chance to do its job. And I didn't lose all the nitrogen. I mean, there is an okay amount of material here, but as far as what it should be and what it is, there's a stark contrast between what there is and what there should be. But all in all, I mean, I'm pretty happy with it. And you can see how steep the hill is on the other side by the mown hay. It's actually pretty scary. That there around that group of trees, that is so steep that I actually brace myself with my feet on the window of the machine. I didn't videotape it because I was alone at the time. Right now I have Teresa in the machine, and I'm going quite slow because Teresa and William were in there, and I just don't want to drive around like a maniac. And you can see the mud directly in front of me there. Yeah, and you can see the big spot down below here that I left go, because that is wet. I mean, damn wet. there's the water valley. The valley channels it right down into there, and there is a spring in there. Now, I have to have this off of here for 2 reasons. It is a park. It belongs to Hunterdon County Park System. It is the Lansdowne Meadows. If you're interested in seeing where I'm at on the map, Lansdowne Meadows, Hunterdon County Park System, New Jersey, and you'll be able to see this. You can walk on this farm. You can foot launch, gliders, whatever you want to do here. You could pretty much do everything other than, rape little children on this property, which nobody really wants to do anyway, but that's just what I'm saying. This hemp, there's no hemp dog bane. Well, there is hemp dog bane. I just saw some hemp dog bane and 2,4-D. Holy crap. Don't really do too much, but it's enough to suppress it when it actually has the full dose on. I'm not going to disclose how much I put down. It was the proper amount, but I believe there was clarity in with this one as well. I'm really just disappointed that it didn't do its job, but I'm going to put fertilizer on for a second cut on this anyway, and I'll come back here in October, and I'll probably get more off of it in October than I do on the first cut. I do have a problem right now, though, and that is getting to the other side of the farm. There's a ditch that's there, and I have to do some repair work to it before I can actually mow the other side. And you can see Timothy down in the right-hand corner. He was there to pull my father out of the mud, and believe me, that happened 3 times. A John Deere mower will go through way more mud than any Case New Holland will. So, just so you know, if you're looking at, if you farm wet land or hilly land, the John Deere is definitely your better bet for stability on those hills and wet areas. I don't think I've ever been stuck with the Deere, knock on wood. So, I don't know though. No, I can guarantee I've never been stuck with it. This thing is it's a tank. It goes through everything. It doesn't generally break down. Wear parts break, but other than that, it's really a good machine. And I'm actually enjoying watching the wildlife as I go through this field. Even though the field is of poor quality, it's acceptable, but it is pretty poor quality, because of that problem that I had. And to be quite honest with you, this field is the worst field, and all the other fields on the other side of the waterway, because they're not hills, they're just flat. The fertilizer and the 2,4-D and Banville or Clarity never did wash away. So they're actually a lot better hay, a lot better tonnage, and a lot better quality hay that's there. Literally no weeds in that. So I'm pretty happy with that. So even though it's the full scheme of things, I can take this field, put it in a separate pile, and feather in a couple 3 bales at a time, and it would be just fine. It's not going to do any negative impact to the compost that they're producing, because I'm pretty sure the mushroom composters watch this video and they're thinking, "Holy shit, are we buying that crap from that guy?" But yeah, I know how to blend it in so that they're not getting overloaded with stuff. But if you look out over the top, to the left and to the right in front of you, everything you see out there is really clean. There's nothing in it. So probably by the time I get it all stacked up and put in a pile and blended in or put onto the truck, it will be 1% of the load will have some milkweed in it. And not the whole field has milkweed in it, but I mean, I'm slightly embarrassed by this, but I'm going to put it up there anyway because, I show just about everything there is to show on this farm, just about everything. When tempers flare, I try to keep that off of YouTube, and tempers do flare, believe me. I have one. Timothy has one. My father definitely has one, and so I just kind of keep that off of YouTube. But for the most part, the good, the bad, and the ugly generally do make it to YouTube, and of course I've been recently criticized for it, which is fine. I'm not whining and complaining about it. I just want people to understand that I'm not out here to get the most subscriptions. I'm not out here to make millions of dollars on YouTube. I'm out here to show the daily ins and outs of my life and, the people around me, my family. And even though some people disagree with my methods and my life, they're still here watching, so I can even thank them as well. So I decided to continue to watch this beautiful mowing job that I'm doing. Just continue on. Teresa had just, well, she was going to get out. I don't know if she got out or not. We might have finished up, or did we not finish up? No, we didn't finish up. She was going to get out, but then she got back in because I forgot this little snip down here. So anyways, what I was talking about was people that are text messaging me and doing stuff like that. Just please, you know, if you want to text message me, it's okay. I don't mind one. I don't mind two. But when it becomes a, you know, I'm now your new best friend, I really don't know who you are. You know more about me than I ever will know about you, because basically you're just a number on my screen that has asked a question or wanted to see if it was me or not. And, you know, I'm okay with that, keeping in touch with the fans, but when it becomes almost a stalker situation, please don't do that. I've had to block several people because of it, especially when they start talking about sexual stuff. I can't handle that stuff. I don't need to. I don't know if you're a 12-year-old little girl or whatever, and if you start talking sex, that is not a good thing. So I've opted to block those types of things. And I will say that it takes all kinds of people in this world. I've even gotten naked pictures of women. They've taken these photos themselves, and I thought that was kind of flattering that they would want to, you know, very tasteful, very tasteful nudes. I actually sent her a text message back saying, you know, very nice, but I don't believe this is you. And she wrote a note on a sticky note, put it on her ass cheek saying, "It's real, one lonely farmer." And I thought, holy shit. So I ended up having to block her too. She was from Brazil. Those Brazilians, man, holy shit, they're not shy. It was amazing. Yes, I have had those types of photographs texted to me, which, you know, I don't mind looking, but it's just not a cool thing. So, and she wasn't in Brazil either. She gave me her address in New York, New York. So she wanted me to come meet her, and she thought if she put naked photos of herself on my phone that I would go meet her. And no, sorry. You know, that's just a disease waiting to happen, and it's not the class of woman that I would ever want to be with. But anyway, yeah, I'm sure there's a lot of YouTubers out there that have had this happen. I don't find it, you know, it's not acceptable, but I can't imagine that I'm a unique case. That, but you know, and this has happened multiple times. Yeah, crazy stuff. And you know, it's not like I can post those photos on Instagram saying and shame this girl for posting nude photos, because I'd have my Instagram taken down. But anyways, these are just quick stories. That's been a couple of years ago that happened. Recently, not too much on that. Yeah, I did have a proposition for a threesome. That was interesting. Blocked that one immediately. Hi, I'm here, and me and my boyfriend, we love your videos, and we were wondering if you'd like to, you know, get together for some a little bit of fun. And I'm like, oh yeah, I'm always up for fun. You know, I'm Mr. Innocent. I have no idea what the hell she's talking about. And then she goes into saying, oh, yeah, well, I don't know if you mind, you know, being naked with another man, but we would love to, you know, like, get together. I just find you so sexy. I'm like, whoa, blocked. Amazing. So if you're out there watching this stuff, this video, and you've had this happen to you, geez, let me know, because that's just some of the crazy stuff that happens on YouTube. So please refrain from, ooh, there's where Teresa hit her head. I slowed down, and I didn't realize she hit her head so hard, but that bump, it was out of the blue. I don't even know where it came from. So anyways, thanks for watching. Please comment, rate, and subscribe for more. If you don't want to comment, rate, and subscribe for more, that's fine. I hear Millennial Farmer's got over 300,000. Go comment, rate, and subscribe to his channel. I'm just joking. It's all good. Thanks.